From that place, Bethel, Jacob continued his journey to Haran, nearly 500 miles to the north. Upon arriving there, Jacob did, in fact, meet his uncle Laban. Laban took Jacob in to live with his family, and immediately Jacob began working alongside Laban's daughters in caring for their flocks of animals. In that process, Jacob fell in love with Laban's younger daughter Rachel, and an agreement was made between Jacob and Laban that Jacob could marry Rachel in exchange for 7 years of working for Laban as one of his shepherds. Genesis 29. After those 7 years of work, on the wedding day, deceiver Jacob was himself deceived by Laban and instead found himself married to Leah, Rachel's older sister. Angry, but with little recourse, Jacob could only agree to work an additional 7 years for Rachel's hand. Pause. Do we see how Jacob is going through a significant refining process with God? God's mercy and blessing met Jacob in that dream at Bethel as Jacob was running away from his moral failure. And God's kind provision, grace, met Jacob when Jacob arrived in Haran, and Jacob was taken in and provided both housing and employment by his uncle Laban. God's further blessing met Jacob when Jacob fell in love with Rachel. But with Jacob being deceived by his uncle Laban and forced to work 14 years as a dowry for the love of his heart Rachel, and also be stuck with 2 sisters as his wives, oh my, do we see God's discipline of Jacob as God was dealing with Jacob's deceiving heart. For the rest of Jacob's life, he lived in the painful consequences of his deception of his father and the shattering of his family. One of the remarkable consistent works of God as he deals with our human race is how God can make wonderful things out of the mess we've made in life. Have you found that to be true?